Sometimes the deepest kind of love isn't loud. It doesn't always come wrapped in grand gestures, expensive gifts, or poetic declarations. Real love, gentle, thoughtful, enduring love, often lives in the quiet corners, in the things he does when you're not even paying attention. And more often than not, you won't notice them. Why? Because he's not doing them for recognition. He's doing them because that's how much you mean to him. You see, when a man truly cares about you, his affection shows up in the smallest ways, not because he's trying to prove something, but because you've become part of his world in ways he can't fully explain. Whether it's remembering how you like your coffee or making sure you get home safe, his love appears in those brief, quiet moments that seem ordinary until you look closer. You might miss it when he adjusts your hoodie without saying a word. You might not realize how intentional it is when he replies to your message in the middle of a hectic day. You may not see the way he lights up when you laugh at your own silly joke, or how his entire mood softens when he hears your name in a random song. These are the things that don't scream for your attention, but if you ever noticed them, they'd stay with you forever. This kind of love doesn't always ask for space in your spotlight. It simply wants to stand beside you, steady, kind, and quiet. The truth is, the men who love the deepest often speak through action. They may not always have the right words, and they might not confess their feelings with cinematic flair, but they'll be there. They'll remember the little things. They'll show up in ways you never expected, but always needed. And that's why it's so easy to overlook the signs. Because they don't come with fanfare. They come with subtlety, with timing, with thought, with consistency. But if you pay attention, if you really pay attention, you'll start to see the love behind the silence. This isn't about perfection. It's not about fairy tales. It's about real connection. Tender, quiet, and beautifully imperfect. The kind that doesn't try to impress, but instead tries to understand. The kind that doesn't need a spotlight to shine, because it glows in the background where loyalty, care, and presence live. So if you've ever wondered whether he really feels something for you, don't just listen to what he says. Watch what he does when he thinks you're not noticing. Because that's often where the real answer is hiding. In the silent gestures, in the smallest acts of love, in the details most people overlook. Let's talk about those moments. The 15 sweet things he does without you even realizing, and what they truly mean. 1. Remembers your favorite drink and brings it randomly. When a man remembers your favorite drink and brings it to you randomly, it's more than just a kind gesture. It's a quiet act of love. It shows that he listens, he observes, and he cares about the small things that bring you joy. This isn't about big, dramatic gestures or expensive gifts. It's about the simple fact that he paid attention to something you casually mentioned and held on to that detail because it mattered to him. Without needing to be asked, he recalls what you like, when you like it, and surprises you in moments when you least expect it. It's his silent way of saying, I think about you, even when you're not around. These moments are subtle, almost easy to miss, but they speak volumes about his feelings. He wants to make you happy in little ways that don't require a grand performance, just thoughtfulness and presence. This quiet habit also shows emotional intelligence. It reflects his desire to connect with you, to show affection without needing to say the words out loud. There's a tenderness in this action, a certain softness that reveals his care. He wants to see your smile, and he finds joy in giving you something he knows you love, simply because he remembered. When a man does something like this, he's not just being nice, he's investing emotionally. It's a gentle, meaningful sign that he values you. He's not doing it for attention, and he doesn't expect anything in return. He just wants to show, in his own quiet way, that you're important to him. These are the silent, everyday moments where love hides, in the details that most people overlook, but the heart never forgets. 2. Replies instantly, even when he's busy. When a man replies instantly, even when he's busy, it reveals where his priorities lie. No matter how packed his schedule is or how many things demand his attention, he still finds a way to respond to you. This act may seem small, but it's a powerful sign of how much he values your presence in his life. It means that you're not just another message on his phone. You're someone he doesn't want to keep waiting. He could be in the middle of work, a meeting, or a stressful moment, but the second he sees your name, he pauses. That brief response is his way of saying, "You matter to me." He's not replying out of obligation. It's instinctive. It shows that your texts don't feel like a task to him. They're a comfort, a connection he wants to maintain, no matter what. This behavior also reflects consistency and emotional availability. In a world where people often leave others on read, his quick reply becomes something rare. It shows respect for your time and emotions. He doesn't want you to feel ignored or overlooked, and even in moments of chaos, he wants you to know that you're on his mind. It's never about the speed of the reply alone. It's about what that speed says. It speaks of eagerness, of effort, and of intentional care. When someone replies instantly despite being busy, it's not just about communication, it's a reflection of commitment. In those quick messages, what he's really saying is, "I'm here, even when I'm not free. You're worth the pause." 3. Saves your pictures secretly. When a man saves your pictures secretly, it's one of the most silent yet intimate signs that he holds deep feelings for you. He may never mention it, and you might never catch him doing it, but the act itself speaks volumes. It shows that he cherishes your presence in his life, not just in the moment, but in memory. Saving your photos quietly means he wants to keep a part of you close, even when you're not around. He looks at those pictures not just to admire your appearance, but to feel connected to you. It's his way of holding on to moments, of freezing pieces of time where you smiled, laughed, or simply existed in a way that touched him. This isn't about vanity, it's about emotional attachment. He may scroll through those pictures when he misses you, or when he's having a rough day and just needs to see your face. It's comforting for him, like having a quiet conversation with your memory. He doesn't need to post them, show them off, or talk about it, because the feelings tied to those photos are private and sincere. This small, hidden gesture shows how much value he places on you. It reveals a tender side of him that he may not express openly, especially if he's not someone who verbalizes his emotions. But through this quiet action, he's showing that you occupy a special place in his thoughts. When a man keeps your pictures without telling you, he's not hiding you. He's holding you close in a way that feels personal. It's not just admiration, it's affection, it's longing, it's love, quietly living in the background, waiting to be seen. 4. Stares at you when you're not looking. When a man stares at you when you're not looking, it's a powerful and unspoken expression of how deeply he feels for you. He watches you in those quiet moments when you're unaware, when you're talking to someone else, laughing, thinking, or just being yourself. In those seconds, he's not just looking at your face, he's admiring everything about you that words can't capture. It's in those silent glances that his feelings are most honest. There's no performance, no pressure, no need to impress. Just him, watching you with a softness in his eyes that only exists when someone truly cares. He may never say how much he loves your smile or the way you brush your hair back, but in that still gaze, it all becomes clear. He looks at you because he finds comfort in your presence, because even when you're not speaking, you have his full attention. That look isn't just physical, it's emotional. It carries meaning, wonder, and sometimes even a longing he's too scared to admit out loud. This kind of stare is different from a passing glance. It lingers, it stays. It's filled with warmth, admiration, and something deeper, something unspoken. And he often looks away the moment you notice, because he doesn't want to make you uncomfortable, or maybe because he's afraid you'll see too much in his eyes. But in that quiet, stolen moment, you are everything to him. And even if he never tells you directly, that gaze is his truth. It's his way of saying, you matter to me more than you know. 5. Text you good morning before anyone else. When a man texts you good morning before anyone else, it's more than just a routine message. It's his way of placing you at the very start of his day. It means that the first thought in his mind, even before work, tasks, or conversations, is you. It's not about just sending a text. It's about choosing you as his morning priority. This small gesture reflects consistency and care. It shows that he doesn't want a day to begin without some connection to you. Even if it's just 2 words, they carry a quiet affection. He may not always say how he feels, but by making sure you're the first person he greets, he's letting you know that you hold a special place in his life. It's also a reflection of emotional closeness. People often reserve their first messages of the day for those they feel most connected to. By choosing you, he's building a pattern of presence in your life. He wants you to start your day knowing someone thought about you, that someone out there cares, even from afar. There's also a certain sincerity behind this kind of habit. He isn't waiting for you to message first. He's not texting you because he wants something. He's doing it because he genuinely wants to bring a little warmth into your morning. It's thoughtful, it's subtle, and it's real. Over time, these little good morning messages become something you look forward to, even depend on. And that's exactly what he wants. To be someone whose presence brings calm, comfort, and connection. A simple good morning may not seem like much, but when it comes from the right person, it means everything. Notices when you're quiet, even in a group. When a man notices you're quiet, even in a group, it reveals how closely he pays attention to you, beyond the noise, beyond the crowd. While others may be focused on the conversation, the laughter, or themselves, his focus remains tuned into your energy. He senses the shift in your mood, even when you're not speaking. That kind of awareness doesn't come from casual interest. It comes from genuine care. It's not just that he sees you, it's that he sees through you. He notices the silence in your voice, the stillness in your eyes, the way your smile doesn't quite reach the same way. And he doesn't need you to say you're not okay. He feels it. That quiet sensitivity is rare. It's intuitive. It means he's emotionally invested enough to recognize the unspoken. Most people only react to what's loud, what's obvious, but he pays attention to your subtle signals. He notices when you've gone quiet because he's attuned to your usual energy, your patterns, your presence. And when that changes, he feels it immediately. This kind of attentiveness is a deep form of emotional connection. It shows he values not just what you say, but how you feel. Even in a group where he could be laughing or distracted, part of his heart is still scanning the room for you. Noticing your silence is his way of checking in, without needing to say, "Are you okay?" out loud, because he already knows the answer. This is one of the most telling signs that someone truly sees you, not just as part of the crowd, but as someone whose inner world matters deeply to them. Chapter 7. Laughs at your unfunny jokes. When a man laughs at your unfunny jokes, it's not because he finds them hilarious. It's because he finds you endearing. His laughter isn't about the punchline. It's about encouraging you, making you feel comfortable, and showing that he enjoys your presence no matter what you say. It's his way of saying, "I like being around you," without having to spell it out. That laugh, even if it's a little exaggerated or too quick, carries affection. He wants you to feel heard, appreciated, and never embarrassed. It's a subtle way of supporting your confidence, of making you feel good just for trying to be light-hearted. He doesn't need your joke to land perfectly. He just wants you to keep smiling. It also reveals that he's focused on how you feel rather than how funny you are. While others may ignore a weak joke or let it fall flat, He jumps in with laughter, not to mock, but to uplift. It's a sweet signal that he's rooting for you, even in the smallest moments. This kind of reaction isn't fake. It's thoughtful. He's not pretending. He's choosing to respond in a way that keeps the mood warm and you feeling valued. His smile, his chuckle, his playful reaction, it all adds up to an unspoken message. What matters to you matters to me. When a man consistently laughs at your not-so-funny jokes, it's more than kindness. It's emotional connection. It's his quiet way of saying, "You make my world lighter, even when your jokes don't." 8. Fixes your hoodie or hair without saying a word. When a man gently fixes your hoodie or tucks a strand of hair behind your ear without saying a word, it's one of the softest, most tender gestures of affection. It may seem small, but in that quiet moment, he's expressing a level of comfort, closeness, and care that words often fail to capture. This type of physical attention isn't about control or appearance. It's about connection. He's not doing it to correct you. He's doing it because he wants to make you feel comfortable, looked after, and seen. It's his way of taking care of you in the simplest, most natural way possible. No big statements, no need for permission, just pure, instinctive care. The silence of the moment makes it even more powerful. He doesn't draw attention to it or make it dramatic. He just notices, reaches out, and fixes it like it's second nature to him. Because when someone truly cares about you, making sure you're okay becomes automatic. There's also an intimacy in that touch. It's gentle, respectful, and meaningful. It shows that he feels close enough to cross that little boundary most people wouldn't dare. Not in a possessive way, but in a protective, affectionate one. It's like saying, "I'm here, I've got you," without uttering a single word. When a man does this, he's not just fixing your hair or hoodie. He's giving you attention that's grounded in love, not lust. And often, it's in these quiet, subtle touches where the deepest feelings live. 9. Walks on the roadside when you're together. When a man instinctively walks on the roadside when you're together, it's a quiet act of protection that speaks volumes about how he feels for you. Without announcing it or expecting recognition, he places himself between you and potential danger, just in case. It's an old-school gesture, rooted in care, safety, and instinctive respect. This small action might go unnoticed by many, but for someone who understands its meaning, it reveals a deep sense of responsibility. He's silently saying, "Your safety matters to me," and he's willing to shield you, even in the smallest of ways. It's not about showing off or being dramatic. It's about being present, aware, and thoughtful, without needing to be asked. In moments like this, there's no performance. He's not trying to impress anyone. He just wants to make sure you're protected, even if that means simply walking on the side that could catch harm. It's natural to him, because when he's with you, being careful with you becomes a quiet priority. This kind of gesture reflects emotional maturity and quiet affection. He might not say how much he cares, but he shows it in steps, in placement, in how he navigates space around you. It's one of those rare, respectful signs of love that doesn't shout. It simply moves, shifts, and adjusts with your presence. When a man does this without hesitation, it means you've entered a part of his world where your comfort and well-being quietly come before his own. And in that small move, where he chooses the outside edge of the sidewalk, he's already standing between you and the world. 10. Mentions your name in random conversations. When a man mentions your name in random conversations, even when you're not around or not directly involved, it reveals just how often you're on his mind. He doesn't do it deliberately or to make a point. It simply slips out naturally because you've become part of the way he thinks, speaks, and sees the world. Your name finds its way into his stories, jokes, or thoughts because you're connected to how he experiences things. Maybe he's talking about something he saw, a place he went, or a topic that reminded him of you. And without even realizing it, your name becomes a thread in his daily narrative. It's a subtle but powerful signal of emotional attachment. He's not trying to impress anyone by saying your name. He's not even fully aware he's doing it sometimes. It's automatic. It shows that he associates you with comfort, relevance, and meaning. Whether he's in a light conversation or a serious one, your presence lingers in his words, like a quiet echo of his feelings. It also reflects how important you've become to him. Using your name adds a sense of personal connection. It's not just this girl I know or someone I talk to. It's you by name, because you're not just someone. You're someone specific to him. When a man brings up your name effortlessly, it's not about attention, it's about affection. It's a quiet confession that you live rent-free in his mind, and every time he says your name, even casually, he's revealing a little piece of his heart without even meaning to. 11. Buy something small just because it reminded me of you. When a man buys something small just because it reminded me of you, it's not about the price or the gift, it's about the thought behind it. That one sentence holds so much meaning. It shows that even when he's out living his everyday life, shopping, walking, doing errands, you're still on his mind. A simple object, a random item, something ordinary caught his attention, and instead of just passing by, he stopped and thought of you. This gesture reveals emotional presence. He doesn't need a special occasion or a reason to give you something. The reason is you. That small item becomes a symbol of how you've taken up space in his thoughts, in the little corners of his day that he doesn't share with everyone. It means you've become a part of how he sees the world. What makes it special is that it's not grand, it's personal. Maybe it's your favorite snack, a keychain, a flower, or a book. But the moment he says, "It reminded me of you," he's telling you that you're connected to his emotions, his environment, and his everyday life. He didn't get it to impress you. He got it because he wanted you to know, in his own simple way, that he carries you with him, even when you're not there. This quiet act of noticing and remembering shows care, warmth, and emotional intention. It's his way of saying, "I see you in everything good, and even the small things feel special when they connect me to you." 12. Plays your favorite songs without asking. When a man plays your favorite songs without asking, it's a subtle yet powerful expression of how closely he listens and how much he remembers about you. Music is personal. It's tied to memories, feelings, and identity. So when he chooses to play the songs you love without being prompted, it means he's paying attention not just to your words, but to your heart. He remembers what makes you smile, what calms you down, or what songs make you light up when they play. He doesn't need to ask what you want to hear. He already knows. And in choosing those songs, he's creating an environment where you feel seen, understood, and emotionally safe. It's also his quiet way of connecting with you. Maybe he doesn't always express things in long conversations, but through the music you love, he finds a way to reach you. Whether it's in the car, while cooking, or just hanging out, playing your favorite music is his way of saying, "I thought of you," or "I want you to feel comfortable here." Even if he doesn't particularly like the song himself, he plays it because it brings you joy. That's the kind of affection that doesn't need attention. It's real, soft, and sincere. It's an action that says, "Your happiness matters to me," in a language that doesn't need words. This small, thoughtful habit shows that you've become part of his internal playlist, not just in music, but in life. And every time he presses play, he's also playing back a piece of how much he cares. 13. Waits till you reach home safely. When a man waits until you reach home safely, it shows a deep, protective kind of care that doesn't need to be loud or flashy to be meaningful. He might not say much, but his actions speak clearly. He wants to make sure you're okay, even after the moment you part ways. It's not about control. It's about peace of mind, for him and for you. He doesn't just walk away and forget. He stays alert, checks his phone, and waits for that simple message. I'm home. That moment tells him you're safe. And until he knows that, a part of him stays unsettled. It's a quiet concern that reflects something deeper: emotional investment, thoughtfulness, and the instinct to protect what he values. This kind of gesture isn't driven by obligation or habit. He does it because he genuinely cares about your well-being. Whether it's late at night or just a regular day, he wants to be the one who stays until the very end, not just during the good moments, but also during the ones where you're on your own. He might say, "Text me when you get home," or he might just wait in silence. But either way, his mind stays with you. And when that message finally comes through, there's a quiet exhale on his end, a calm that settles in because you're safe. It's not a grand gesture, but it's an emotionally rich one. In a world where people often disappear the moment they're out of sight, he lingers in concern. That's not routine. That's love. Simple, steady, and quietly loyal. 14. Adjusts his schedule just to see you for 5 minutes. When a man adjusts his schedule just to see you for 5 minutes, it's one of the clearest signs that you mean more to him than convenience or routine. Time is one of the most valuable things anyone can give. And when he reshapes his busy day just to be in your presence, even for a moment, it shows that your importance to him outweighs everything else demanding his attention. It's not about how long he stays. It's about the effort behind those few minutes. He could be tired, running late, or juggling responsibilities, yet he still makes room for you. That short visit might seem small on the surface, but it carries a weight of care, intention, and silent devotion. He's not just making time, he's prioritizing you. This kind of gesture also reveals emotional depth. It means that seeing you, even briefly, adds something to his day that nothing else can. Maybe your presence calms him, motivates him, or just brings him peace. And so, even 5 minutes feels worth the detour. He might not say how much he misses you or how much he wants to see you, but actions like these say it for him. There's no show, no need for attention, just a quiet decision that proves, you matter to me more than my schedule. In those 5 minutes, he's not just showing up. He's showing that love doesn't always need hours or speeches. Sometimes it lives in the willingness to show up when it's least convenient but most meaningful. 15. Remembers the little things you told him weeks ago. When a man remembers the little things you told him weeks ago, it's one of the most genuine signs that he truly listens. Not just with his ears, but with his heart. These aren't major events or dramatic stories. They're small details. Your favorite snack, a childhood memory, the way you take your coffee, something you casually mentioned and forgot. But he didn't. This kind of memory is not accidental. It's a reflection of how closely he pays attention when you speak, how he holds on to the parts of you that even you don't realize you're revealing. He stores those details because they matter to him, because you matter to him. He might bring up something you said long ago, without even making a big deal about it. Maybe he uses it to surprise you, to comfort you, or just to remind you, gently, that he was really there, truly listening. And in that moment, you realize he wasn't just hearing you. He was absorbing you, remembering you, cherishing you in the quiet corners of his mind. It shows that you're not just background noise in his life. You're someone who takes up space in his thoughts, even long after the conversation has passed. Remembering the little things is how he silently says, "You're important. What you say stays with me." It's not about grand gestures. It's about emotional presence. In a world full of distractions, remembering the small things is an act of rare, real love.